Sahabat peradaban kasih ekologis yang terkasih, Universitas Islam Negeri Sunan Kalijaga Yogyakarta mengukir sejarah dunia ketika pada tanggal 13 Februari tahun 2023 memberikan gelar Doktor Honoris Causa kepada 3 tokoh penting, bukan hanya di tingkat nasional tetapi internasional, yaitu kepada Gus Yahya sebagai Ketua PBNU, kepada Dr. Sudebyo Markus sebagai salah satu pengurus Muhammadiyah, dan kepada Kardinal Miguel Ayuso, Ketua Dewan Kepausan untuk Dialog Interreligius. Pada kesempatan ini, saya ingin menghadirkan orasi yang disampaikan oleh Kardinal Ayuso, yang disampaikan dalam bahasa Inggris, namun kita bisa mengikutinya dengan baik. Pada intinya, Kardinal berterima kasih atas penganugerahan gelar Doktor Honoris Causa oleh UIN Sunan Kalijaga Yogyakarta, dan beliau menyampaikan satu orasi yang mengajak kita semua untuk selalu membangun keterbukaan, hidup bersaudara dengan semua orang tanpa diskriminasi. Selengkapnya, mari kita simak yang disampaikan Kardinal Ayuso dalam cuplikan berikut ini. Semoga bermanfaat. Terima kasih. Salam sehat, tetap semangat tanpa sambat, selalu bahagia, kebahagiaan yang bersumber dari Tuhan Allah kita.
Your Excellency, Monsignor Piero Pioppo, Apostolic Nuncio of Pope Francis here in Indonesia, dear Cardinals, brothers Cardinals, bishops, members of the Indonesian Episcopal Conference, other priests and Catholics who are here today accompanying me in this important academic event. Respected ministers of the government present here, dear chairman and members of the Senate of the Islamic State University, Sunan Kalijaga, rector and your assistants, chairman of the promotions committee and its members, dignitaries, religious leaders, eminences, excellencies, distinguished guests, and dear friends. I wish to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Senate, the rector, the vice rectors, to the promotions committee, and to the entire Civitas Academica of the Universitas Islam Negeri Sunan Kalijaga for the conferral of the Doctor Honoris Causa together with Dr. Yahya Cholil Stakov, chairman of Nadratul Ulama, and Dr. Sudebyo Markus, former chairman of Muhammadiyah. I express my gratitude for this important celebration you have prepared with such commitment, patience, and such great joy. This interreligious conferral is a concrete sign of our undivided commitment to promote a better life and a better future for humanity. It has always been our conviction that interreligious dialogue and collaboration are the right way forward. So today, prompted by this joyful occasion, I would like to emphasize the importance of our common joint responsibility to work together for the common good of all. Today, we live, as we know, in a pluralistic societies characterized, unfortunately, by ever-growing conflicts between religious, national, and ethnic groups, on the other hand, and also promoting and disseminating discrimination against individuals and vulnerable people. We must say that we are witnessing a world torn apart, falling into divisions due to human aggressions proceeding from desire to gain more power and influence over others. In addition, we struggle with a worldwide health crisis triggered by the never-ending COVID-19 pandemic. Not only human beings, but particularly innocent ones, and also our planet, our common home that is suffering. And it is painful and frightening to see how religious identities have been instrumentalized, even politically, leading to deeper polarization within societies. Walls are being constructed to separate, to divide, rather than bridges to build a connection between peoples. The world longs for a more peaceful and harmonious coexistence today and tomorrow. And we are well aware that the role of religions in healing the wounds of the fragile world and building bridges amidst differences is urgently needed, perhaps now more than ever. During the last 60 years, in particular, the Catholic Church has promoted the dynamics of dialogue and collaboration based on the truth and charity entrusted to us by our Lord Jesus Christ. For this, the core principle from the Catholic perspective is clear and unambiguous: to promote the Catholic perspective of promoting a culture of encounter and a culture of peace, leading to a sincere collaboration for the common good, so as to be able to live in a peaceful and harmonious society. As Pope Francis has reiterated on various occasions, religions should not be the problems, rather parts of the solutions. And since the Second Vatican Council, the Church has tirelessly promoted peace and harmony among believers of different religions. For His Holiness Pope Francis, the dialogue between people of different religions is truly at the center of his reflections and actions. It is well known that since the beginning of his pontificate, the Holy Father has emphasized the relationship between members of various religions, highlighting the importance of friendship and respect. And the Catholic Church, as stated in the Second Vatican Council's declaration, Nostra Aetate, affirms that one is the community of all peoples, one their origin, for God made the whole human race to live over the face of the earth. One also is their final goal, God. Facing the aforementioned global challenges, given the role that religions are playing in the world and the role that as many are urging they are called to play, given the looming necessity of turning the impending clash of civilization into a dialogue of civilizations, all religious communities must find new ways to revitalize the authentic classic traditions, to relate to each other and to collaborate in an atmosphere of mutual understanding and respect. Because in a pluralistic society, religious traditions and communities have an essential and unconditional responsibility to build up societies together, rather than dominate each other, to stand together for the rights of each and everyone without discrimination, and to protect the inviolability of human dignity so that all may prosper rather than waste energy competing with one another for particular interests. Allow me to express to you all my gratitude for the conferral of this doctorate Honoris Causa. For 20 years as a Catholic priest, I accompany the Christian community living among Muslims along the Nile Valley between Egypt and Sudan. And after many wonderful experiences among my Muslim brothers and sisters, I was involved in the academic field at the Pontifical Institute for Arabic and Islamic Studies in Rome. And after leading that papal institution as the president for 6 years, I was called by the Pope to join the Dicastery for Interreligious Dialogue in the Vatican, where I am now. And in my academic studies, if you allow me to share it with you, in my academic studies, research and teaching, I have always been impressed by the Islamic concept of wasatiyya. Wasatiyya. It is a word that is impossible to give a proper translation. Normally is translated as the middle way or moderation, or to be and remain within the limits that are not excessive in the believing and practicing one's own faith. But I noticed that in recent years, while facing the rise of religious fundamentalism and extremism, the concept of wasatiyya has emerged as an important element of Islamic discourse across the world. The concept is mobilized by many Muslims who defend the moderate character of a particular way of interpreting Islam when addressing such important contemporary social issues, seeking to promote the public good and social justice. Moderation is primarily a moral virtue of relevance not only to a personal conduct of individuals, but also to the integrity and self-image of communities and nations. So, brothers and sisters, fratelli tutti, followers of religions are called to accept and affirm religious differences as they are, while opening themselves to encounter people of other religions with respect and understanding, safeguarding their rights and their inviolable human dignity. I am always proud of your state philosophy, Panchasila, which has been your firm guidance and which keeps this huge country united, blessed with so many diverse cultures, ethnicities, religions. I admire the man you love, Sunan Kalijaga, after whom this university is named. He was a nationalist and moderate Muslim leader and preacher, spreading Islam successfully while embracing Indonesian culture and arts. Bravo. Just to show that a multi-religious civil society demands more than tolerance of our religious differences. As brothers and sisters of the same history and the same nation, people should not only tolerate each other, but have to love each other, since all of us are at the same time citizens and believers, belonging to different religious traditions. And to form a working, enduring, multi-religious nation, we have to not only accept our religious differences, we have to affirm them. We have to not only put up with the reality that our next door neighbors belong to different religious traditions or identity, not only as a fact of life, but also as a good for the life of our society. Because each of them is 100% citizen and 100% believer, as expressed by the first and well-known Catholic Archbishop, His Excellency Albert Sujijapranata from this region, who spoke a few years after independence about the identity of Catholics in this country, inviting them to involve themselves fully to build up the country after the long colonization. So if we are going to be fellow citizens with those who do not share our religion, we must honestly acknowledge that their religions are as important to them as ours is to us. Thus, we must act in a manner that God, who created us, is not a cause for division, but the basis for our unity. I was privileged to witness the signing of the document on human fraternity for world peace and living together by His Holiness Pope Francis and the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar, Dr. Ahmad al-Tayyib. We can say without any rhetoric that the signing of the document was a milestone on the path of interreligious dialogue. A milestone is a point along the way, neither the beginning nor the end. So this means that we have to work together through various ways to promote fraternity and to live in concrete ways in our daily life. I am deeply grateful for your appreciation of this document, motivating you to hold this meaningful event. Today's historic event is a bold contribution to the promotion and strengthening of human fraternity in order to build a peaceful world in a common coexistence. Interreligious collaboration can and must support the rights of every human being in every part of the world, and at all times, because we are all members of one human family, and as such we have equal rights as well as duties as citizens of this world. So let us not forget that at the base of any collaboration or dialogue there is the common root of our humanity. This means that we do not start at zero in dialogue. There is always our shared humanity with all its existential and practical aspects, which provides a needed meeting ground. Let me remind you that Pope Francis emphasized in his recent message for the 56th World Day of Peace last January 23, when he said, and I quote, "Certainly, after directly experiencing the fragility of our own lives and the world around us, we can say that the greatest lesson we learned from COVID-19 was the realization that we all need each other, that our greatest and yet most fragile treasure is our shared humanity as brothers and sisters, and that none of us can be saved alone. Consequently, we urgently need to join together in seeking and promoting the universal values that can guide and grow together in this human fraternity." End of the quotation. So, an attitude of human fraternity, it is the attitude that adopts the culture of dialogue as a way of collaboration, as a method of mutual knowledge, and as a way of establishing a common criterion. A culture of dialogue is, in fact, fundamental for peaceful and harmonious coexistence, one that is based on mutual respect, mutual understanding, and mutual recognition. And in this context, I would like to remember the words of the Holy Father Pope Francis when he spoke in Cairo in an international conference about 3 fundamental orientations for pursuing dialogue and knowledge among people of different religions. First, the duty to respect one's own identity and that of the others. Secondly, the courage to accept differences. And thirdly, the sincerity of our intentions. As Pope Francis explained at the Founders Memorial in Abu Dhabi, alongside the famous ancient maxim, "Know yourself," we must uphold, know your brother or sister, their history, their culture, and their faith, because there is no genuine self-knowledge without the other. As human beings, and even more so as brothers and sisters, let us remind each other that nothing of what is human can remain foreign to us. As I feel today a brother to you all, while conferring to me this doctorate Honoris Causa, I express once more my sentiments of unity in diversity with you all, with my most profound desire that we will all together continue struggling in building a better world where peace may always be the cornerstone of our societies. Thank you very much.
Selamat dan profisiat kepada Gus Yahya, kepada Pak Markus, dan kepada Kardinal Ayuso. Semoga penganugerahan gelar ini menjadi berkat untuk kerukunan, persaudaraan, dan hidup yang harmonis dalam keberagaman yang saling mengasihi. Tuhan Yesus memberkati kita
Sahabat
semua.
peradaban kasih yang terkasih, sampai jumpa pada episode berikutnya. Terima kasih atas kebersamaan kita. Salam peradaban kasih ekologis.
Berkah dalam